It's kind of an idea I've had in my head for a while. What kind of happened was my kids were part of the mountain bike scene in Scotland, and we went to different venues around Scotland and seen these pump tracks popping up in different places like Wishaw and Carrick-on-Brae and Glasgow. And I kind of thought, well, I knew Fife didn't have one, so I just thought it'd be good to try and see if I could get one brought to Levenmouth. The whole thing was, I was fortunate enough to, be able to take my kids to these different venues to go and do races, but my kind of driving behind it was that I would like to have brought good quality facility into the heart of our community, rather than people having to get up and chuck it. If you look at the price of diesel or petrol now, traipse halfway across the country to use good facilities. So my kind of mindset was that give the kids enough money for a can of iron brew and a bag of crisps, and they could head down to their own pump track, and they've got a top quality kind of world class facility local to them. We're pretty lucky in terms of we've got some of the CLD workers for Fife Council to kind of help with consultation process, and we went around Kennoway. We made sure we had online polls just to kind of keep people up to date with what our thought was, and making sure that we were saying to people that it was going to be a facility that's free to access, so it kind of breaks down some of the barriers in terms of cost for sport. And because the nature of the pump track, it'll be a facility that's used for all wheeled sports, so not just bikes. You'll be able to use a skateboard on it, inline skates, scooters. So there's a wide variety of sports that will be catered for, and all should be reasonably happy with what would essentially be a top class facility within Levenmouth. I've still to get confirmation of when the exact date will be finished. On the back of that, we look to kind of create a large scale kind of launch event, and I'm working with some people for Fife Council to kind of try and make sure that the park's opened with a bang, and people could come along, and we'll hopefully have demonstrations and giveaways and raffles and things like that, maybe even live music, just because it is quite a big deal. It's been a lot of work for us, and I think 3 years down the line now, it'll be something to be celebrated, in terms of Kennoway and Levenmouth. The idea was always there, and it just seems to be that everything's kind of aligned themselves pretty well. We obviously got cash for the Sports Facilities Fund for Scottish Cycling, and then just at that stage, the announcement was made of the 10 million pot of cash for Levenmouth Reconnected, and we were like, that's, the values that were in with the Levenmouth Reconnected programme, kind of, they all kind of married up with this project. And with the railway line kind of going in, I see it as a destination as well. So with the right infrastructure, maybe some support for Sustrans and things like that, we could make sure that there's an active travel route up to the pump track, so that people could rack up on the railway line, get off at Carman Bridge or get off at Leven, and there's a route up to to go and use the track and see what it's like. There's been some people kind of say that I've had some photos of guys that now similar age to me, with originally on their old BMXs, going around the track when it was first built, and they're quite keen. And obviously now their kids are going to have the use of a really quality facility, free to access, floodlit, open 365 days a year